Good afternoon, team. Welcome to the Raw Life Podcast, sponsored by UFC Gym. Sorry, featuring UFC Gym, I guess, because it's featuring us. My name's Jordan. Alongside me, as always, are my partners in crime, Josh and Donovan, and producer Chris behind the scenes, as always, making this thing run because we don't know what we're doing. That's why we're here. Laugh at yourself, Chris. That's fine. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's better. Any fun plans this weekend, gentlemen?
Golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to a 30th birthday party. Another one.
Yours?
Another one.
Another one.
In Fort Wayne, yeah. No, not mine. Mine's 3-4 weeks from now.
Wow.
I know.
Very cool. Well, if I don't see you, happy birthday.
I'm sure you'll see me.
Yeah, that's right. Fort Wayne, huh? The fort.
Yep.
Very cool.
The dirty.
Let's talk about gains. The dirty. Now let's talk about gains.
Segue into gains.
Yeah, there you go. Gains, peeps. We talked about protein last week, or I guess this week. Spoiler alert, we're filming this before we put it out. Spoiler alert. So hypertrophy, strength training, all that good stuff. Donovan, take it away.
Hypertrophy is gains. It's getting big. And what was the second part?
Strength training.
Strength training.
Yeah.
You need it
Your
to
favorite, right?
get big. That's
There
why I
you
love
go.
lifting weights. Love lifting weights.
What's your favorite exercise? Strength training.
There we go.
exercise?
Now we're getting into it.
You know, I hate to say it. You hate to see it, but I'm probably going to say bench press.
Oh, yep.
No, that's fine.
That's the bro. That's the
That's the
word
bro
now.
one.
I
What do you
concur.
bench, bro?
What can you bench, bro?
Last time I maxed out was probably college, but I bet if I got under there,
This is how I always love when weightlifters talk.
Yeah.
I bet if I got under there, I could probably.
No warm up. No warm up. You know what I'm saying? Just
I bet I'm 350 now.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I bet I'm 350.
350, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Josh, what about you? I feel like you can put
I
some
feel
weight
like,
up.
yeah, I bet you could.
probably get 325.
There you go.
Bench press competition between Josh and somebody. I don't know who.
Not me. Shoot.
Well, now
No
during this
way.
quarantine, I'm
No
probably
way.
putting about 275 since I haven't had a good
Yeah.
chest day in
That'll happen.
a while. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about max, right? Maxing out. What's the proper way to do max outs? What do you do for max outs with your clients? How do you approach that?
Oh, have them warm up
Mm-hmm.
a little bit at a time, and then start loading the weight on. I know there's a protocol. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Well, how many reps
That's what I
and
was waiting
sets would
for.
you have them warm up?
Right.
Well, that's tricky. Not too many. Not too much. I'd
It
play
is.
it off the person,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll say, throw on a super lightweight, hit 8 of them or something, and then
Yeah.
go to a moderate. Let's try to knock out 3 or 4. How you feeling? Should we hit the max on the next one, or should we do another warm-up set? If it's another one, I'm like, all right, just hit 2 or 3 close to your max. Go for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm usually, if I do that, I'll do something real light, maybe even just a bar, like 15 of them, just kind of get that moving, and then I jump up. Like if I'm going, say I think my max is 315, 320, then I'll go up, 205, do a few of those, and then I'll get up closer, like a 275, 280, and do just 1 or 2, see how that feels, and then get up there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my personal preference, though. But like you said, it could be other, depending on how many reps and sets they normally do.
Yeah. It's not the official, YMCA protocol for
Correct.
1 rep max,
Right.
but
So that starts with percentage of what your expected 1 rep max would be. So they always say if you're not hitting your 1 rep max between 5 and 7 sets, then that's not a true 1 rep max, right? So we start about 60% of your 1 rep max, about 10 reps, drop down to 8, drop down to 6, drop down to 4. Then we rep out a couple, starting with about 3. And then by that 5th set, you should be trying for that 1 rep max. You got 3 tries, essentially, sets 5, 6, and 7 to hit that 1 rep max. If you don't hit it, then that's it.
Yep.
So it's really interesting. I've done it a few times. Very disappointed in my results compared to doing it the unofficial way, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's okay, though.
There's also the timing and the breaks in between
Right.
sets. I mean, there's a lot
3 to
of
5
variables,
minutes is a good time frame,
Yep.
right? So good transition, though, into that. When you're talking about strength training, you have different recommendations as far as your volume.
Yeah.
So we could talk FIT VP, FIT principle, right? Frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, progression, right? So when we're talking volume, we're talking sets times reps times weight.
Yep.
Frequency would be how often do you lift. Intensity would be percentage of 1 rep max. You can go off RPE scale as well, or rate of perceived exertion, right? So time, it doesn't really matter for strength training. We're more worried about volume when it comes to strength training than time. There's nothing that says 45 minutes of strength training is less beneficial than an hour.
Yeah.
If you can get more volume in 45 minutes than an hour, then that works, right? And then type would be just strength training. Progression. Let's talk progression. Donovan.
The tee-up.
There it is.
So we're talking periodization here.
Because we love golf. We just want you to tee us up.
That's right. Throwing up the big words here. Basically that's where the 1RM comes into play a lot. If you can get a 1RM, then you can follow max charts percentages to build your workout exactly to where it needs to be. Rather than, I'm feeling 225 today. I didn't get it out to 205 tomorrow, whatever. You can stick to a specific schedule to increase strength, size, everything.
Yeah.
It's the tee up.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good. That's what a lot of people that don't try to get their 1 rep maxes, even like they're just like, I'm not trying to, be a bodybuilder. I'm not going to do that. But it is a good guideline. If
Absolutely.
you're not, no matter what you're looking for, it's a good guideline to at least get close. I mean, you don't have to be precise. Like if you, one day you might get, 235 one day it might be, you could get, 230. If you kind of know at least close, get in there, or you felt good at 235 and you got 2 of them in and you thought maybe I could have got 240. I mean, you can base it off a little bit, but that helps with your goals to lead up to it. So to know in there. And so then, you're doing 70% of your 1 rep max for, a week or two. And then you want to progress up and you can see the progress a lot better if you just kind of have a range of that 1 rep max, no matter if you're not trying to be bodybuilder, muscular,
right.
whatever the case is. It's definitely a good tool.
And you can still work off of 3 rep max or 5 rep max, right? That's still under strength training guidelines. But you got to think about, how are you supposed to progress if you don't know where your range is, right? So people out there, don't be afraid. Let's do 1 rep max. Let's see where you're at on these benchmarks, right? With your squat, with your deadlift, with your bench press. And then we can really progress you in a strength training program because we know where you should be. And then we have the 10% progression rule, right? We add 10% of what your weights were as we progress throughout 10 to 12 week program.
Yep.
Well, think of it as weights. People come in
Right.
at a certain weight. That's your current max. They want to lose weight. So how do you track it? You keep weighing in. You keep maxing.
Yep.
Great point.
Body fat percentage, whatever it is.
That's a good
You got to have something to
analogy.
measure.
Producer Chris, can we get a round of applause for him? There we go. Good job, man. I like that analogy. That's good.
That's why he's the fitness director.
That's right. So don't be afraid to strength train either. I think when we talked to Neil Spruce, we were talking about the myth between females and thinking that they're going to get big and bulky when they lift weights. You are if you're taking stuff you shouldn't be taking, right? If you're taking dotFIT supplements, you'll be fine. Shout out dotFIT.
Protein does not make you huge.
Right. Protein helps you maintain, and it helps with recovery. I think we're learning about that more. I think more people are focused on protein as making you jacked and tan, when in reality, it's really to help you recover from your workout and not lose out on dim gains, right?
That's right. Hashtag dim gains.
Right. And hypertrophy, one thing that when I worked as fitness director at a different facility, we always talked about writing programs, not workouts, right? Which is very similar to what we're doing. I mean, it is what we're going to be implementing at UFC gym as well. And that's because hypertrophy stages or muscle strength and gain stages happen a little bit later on than cardiovascular. 30 days, you're feeling pretty good. You could probably lose a good amount of weight in about 30 days as well, if you're doing things correctly, healthy weight. But with hypertrophy, you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks before you start feeling neuromuscular changes, right? You feel stronger. You're able to lift more. Your DOMS, your muscle soreness is not as intense after each strength session. And also, if you're not sore after a strength session, don't worry. Like, it's not the end all be all. You don't have to be barely able to walk the next day to think that you got a good strength session. So that's
no pain, no gain. That's a myth.
That is a myth.
But
correct.
It does hurt so good.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. I will not lie. It does feel good when you're walking away sore the next day. So 6 to 8 weeks is when you're going to start feeling stronger. You may not see, you won't see big size gains until about 10 to 12 weeks. So that's why when we talk about private coaching and we want to sign you up for at least 3 months, that gives us time to show you that there's going to be results with a good strength training program working with the right people.
Yep.
So we're not trying to sell you on just more training. We're trying to help you. And we don't want you quitting before you're really able to see those results after a while. So, 3 to 5 days a week of good strength training is a good recommendation as far as baseline. Josh, I don't think we talked about what's your favorite strength training workout.
I hate to piggyback off of Donovan, but definitely chest. I've had a lot of knee surgeries, as we kind of expressed, so I do love leg workouts. It's just that so few and far between on when I can do it. It's been a long time since I've been able to actually put a lot of weight on and do good workouts, but I love deadlifts as well. I know some people kind of stay away from deadlifts, but I'm a big deadlift fan. So just a chest and bench and deadlifts are my two favorites, I would say.
You like what you're good at.
Yep, that's right. I'm a big shoulder workout fan.
Oh, yeah. I do
Love
like
shoulders.
Yeah.
Love shoulders. Just a standard barbell press I'm a big fan of. And then I like Y raises with some dumbbells.
Easy.
I do those
Let's go.
IYTs.
Let's go.
Yeah.
IYTs. I
Oh,
love
those
them.
boys.
On a TRX too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get those.
those
I remember
on,
having
yeah.
clients get those and hand him 5-pound dumbbells. He's looking at me like I'm crazy when I'm doing these IYTs. I'm like, buddy, look, just wait. Couple rounds,
Right.
they'll be burning 5-pounders.
Just wait. And by IYT, we mean, go ahead, Josh.
So I do them kind of on a incline bench, but belly down. You're laying down and you're taking dumbbells and you make an I, you make a Y, and then you kind of go T. So you're kind of doing them this way and it's all your shoulders. And you keep that chest flat on the bench so you don't want to be arching up the cheek, but doing those and oh man, get your shoulders burning if you haven't done them.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
I like ending my shoulder day with IYTs, but
Yeah.
with TRX straps.
That's what I'm saying.
Because then
Yep.
I don't have to drop
Yep.
the weight. Once I can't do it with the weight, I just take a step,
That's nice.
whatever.
And
Get
we
it
do
done.
have TRX as well.
I love
we
it.
do.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to our Matrix program as well. Group fitness class. That's going to be actually not necessarily group fitness, really a training program with Matrix, right? It's MMA mixed with TRX. If you don't know what TRX is, Google it. It's pretty easy. I mean, everybody knows what it is, right? No, I'm just
Google it.
No, but do Google it. So, yeah, I like shoulders. What's your least favorite exercise?
Mine's actually probably shoulders because go back to my injuries. I have a torn labrum in the shoulder, so it's just it fatigues. It fatigues pretty quickly. So in comparison to my strength level on my other body parts, my shoulders are behind. So and it just like I said, it just gets it's not too bad, but I mean 2 sets of overhead press and I can feel it start fatiguing pretty quickly. So even incline bench. So those are probably my least favorite actually.
All of ours are probably going to tie into injuries because mine is abs. Now, not core, abs specifically because of my 4 hernias. Like, I do those and I feel a little pinch or twinge. I'm like, no, it's not worth it. I'm not getting another one.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I hate lunges.
Yeah.
But I do them. I still do them every leg day.
Great exercise.
Yes, it's a great exercise. But running cross country, pounding my lower body for as long as I have, my knees, especially putting on the quarantine 19, my knees really are not happy with me when I do lunges.
He's right.
now.
Everybody ties into their injury. That's what happens. That's
Yep,
what, that's
for
what
sure.
makes it bad.
Yeah.
What
so-
don't you like? Well, I'm not good at it. So this.
Right. But I still do it.
Yep.
Same.
Still do it.
Yep.
Yep. So even if I don't like it, I force myself to do it because functional movements like overhead work with your shoulders, core work,
It's important.
and lunges
Yep.
translate to everyday life. We still should be doing them. We know that, even though we hate them, we may moan and groan, but we still knock it out.
That
right?
overhead work get your heart rate going too. If you
Yes,
guys
it
looking
does.
to do some strength training, but keep that heart rate up high, do anything overhead. You can do lunges with the overhead. You do overhead presses. That gets your heart rate going.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you know why that is?
I bet you're going to tell us.
I was waiting on somebody to jump in there. I don't know. I was asking. I'm assuming it's because you're elevating over your head, so you're causing a blood rush.
It's got to
back
have
your
something
body.
to do with the weight.
I think
So you're
your
working
heart- I think
twice
your
as
heart has to work
hard
harder
to get it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense. Which is why if you ever do squats or lower body work, you feel your heart rate jack up quickly, right? Because most of our body and muscle mass is in our lower body, right? So that's why your heart is working really hard to facilitate oxygen to those tissues, to those muscle tissues while you're doing lower body.
Don't skip leg day.
Don't ever skip leg day.
It's important for the whole body. I read a study
Right.
once. One of the most confusing ones I ever read initially was the the best way to increase bicep size, the routine was a squat pull-up combo. That was it. Not a single bicep curl in the workout.
Pull up or chin up?
Chin up.
There you
I
go.
was like, wait.
There you go.
I had to move my hands around. Producer Chris told me I have to describe my movements.
Oh yeah, because not
everyone can see what
That's
we're
right.
doing.
That's right.
Well, I did it right. There should be a cheer.
Wait a minute. There you go. There you go. Producer Chris is tough today.
Man, he's coming at us.
Jeez.
We forgot to feed him, I think.
Protein we got. I'm checking off my list here. Sorry.
Well, so
about
kind of
that.
to
Yeah.
circle back to one of the things that Donovan was talking about with, and actually you with that, getting in a training program for at least a few months. I mean, you just think about it like you're building a house or something. You got to get the foundation first. So like when you're working with a trainer, that's the first aspect of it. You're kind of building the foundation. You're getting to know the trainers, getting to understand where your capabilities are, where your strengths lie, your weaknesses, what you want to improve. Then it's also about reading you as a person too. Like some people can push themselves really hard. Some people like to have a trainer to help them push them. But as fitness professionals, especially on our level, the best of the best are Donovan here. You're gonna know you don't want to just push someone to the point just to push them hard. You got to know when to push it, when to reel it back a little bit, when to pick your spots. So there's a whole process of you're gonna build that foundation, then you're going to build it up, and then you're going to go until you get to that high level, and then you're just going to keep going from there. So that's a whole thing about those programs is you just have to have realistic expectations. You can't build a house from scratch and expect it to be done in a week, 2 weeks, right? You want to build it up and you want it to be done right. And so just with anything else, you can do fad diets or fad workouts and you might get quick results that won't stick, but things that you really want to stick, you're going to have to build it up and you're going to have to listen to your body and professionals and tell you how to get it done. So,
and you want a pro to do it.
Yeah, right.
Something I always say to people, and this may not apply to us, but do you cut your own hair? No. Do you cut your own hair?
I don't get haircuts, and you can
Well,
see
we can
it
see,
right
yeah.
now.
We had to fix the hair.
Wow,
but then a
I
lot
gotta
of
get that taken
people
care of.
pay somebody to do their taxes, pay somebody to do their nails, whatever. And why? Because you don't know how.
Right.
So you're going to have a pro do it.
Right.
But exercise is one of those things where people are like, well, I'll just YouTube it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't do that with hardly anything else in life. Need an oil change? I don't know how to do that. I'm going to go to an oil change place.
Right.
So fitness is the exact same thing. Come to us because we're the pros and we know what to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing too, is that even if you're only working with a trainer 3 days a week, that trainer's going to work with you and you want to still work out 2 more days on your own or 3 more days. They're going to give you guidelines too. Like, hey, this is what would be best for your goals on the days that we're working out. We're going to be doing these things on the days you're training on your own. Here's kind of things you should focus on and give you the guidelines to do them and show you the form work. So, if you're not comfortable with it, you're doing them on your own. They'll go through the form with you, show you how it's done. So if you're doing those ones on your own or in there, you're going to have the proper form and all that and the right intensity level, the right reps and sets, all of that. So it's like getting a prescription. You got to get it right.
I'm on a soapbox now that we brought up personal training here.
Let's go.
And I see us better than a lot of other professions also that people seek out because does your barber teach you how to cut your own hair?
Right.
No. Your accountant's not saying like, okay, I'll do your taxes this year and then here's how you do it forever.
Right.
We do that.
Yeah.
We say work with us for 3, 6, 12 months, whatever. We're not trying to lock you down lifetime.
Exactly.
If you want to, that's a different story.
Yeah.
If you want the extra push, but you shouldn't need us. You give us an amount of time. We're going to teach you everything we can in that amount of time and then cut you loose with the knowledge that you need.
Yep.
But it is a thing. I mean, I've been in fitness for 12, 15 years and been a trainer, but I work out. If I go through a workout with Donovan, I'm going to work out harder with him than I would on myself anyway.
Right.
Or a team. If you were an athlete and you worked out with your team, you're always training harder when you got the other guys around, someone telling you, going you through the workout. So even us that know that, you go into the gym and just like, I don't know what I'm going to do today, and just kind of, you're not going to get the same training session as you're working with Donovan, Jordan, someone like in here, and you got someone with you. That's going to always guide you and help you. So even if you have the knowledge, there's always benefits to it.
We just read the study. It's science.
Yep.
You work harder with a person.
Yep.
Period. There's no debate.
Right. Yeah. And one of the questions I always like to ask potential clients would be, what are the things you struggle with the most? Is it intensity or is it accountability? What's your biggest issue? Because I've had I had a girl that ran cross country and track she was a track sprinter for Indiana State University who was in great shape, but she's like, I always have to have a trainer because I don't push myself. And I don't like writing my own workouts. Touche. I don't like writing my own workouts either. If I could have a trainer and having a degree in exercise science and multiple certs, if I could have 5 days a week working with a trainer, I would.
Oh, for sure.
Every single day.
And that's the thing too, is even if you're the top trainer in the world, there's going to be different workouts, something that maybe you haven't done in a while, a different technique, a different style, a different combination. I see that all the time in the gym. Other trainers, when I was training all the time, I see them and just like, oh man, I forgot about using that with that, pairing it with this.
Yeah.
You'll always get it, or like things I haven't done that in a while. You do that and then you incorporate it back into your training session now. So there's always things that you can pick up and grow on.
Yeah. Michael Jordan had a trainer.
Everybody, all the high athletes.
Oh yeah, I mean, name one that doesn't.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's not something like Donovan said, we're not trying to lock you in for the rest of your life to pay us money to train you. Right. I mean, ideally that'd be awesome, obviously, but we want to teach you how to do this on your own and go do this on your own, because people that come in on that first day of, there you go. Get that logo showing. People that come in on the first day on New Year's, right? Hey, I have all these goals in mind, like our New Year's resolution. I have all these goals in mind. Just give me a little bit of a plan. I can figure it out from there. That's their mindset going into it. And this is probably the third or fourth gym that they've joined. Same time of the year. Failing after about a month and a half or so, right? All the super intense people in the gyms kind of make a joke about it when they say, I can't wait till mid-March when the gym's empty again, right? Because all the New Year's resolutions start dropping off after a few months. And it's because you don't put that accountability on yourself. You're not pushing yourself intensity-wise. This is a potentially body-damaging thing that we do with exercise. And you just want to look it up on YouTube or follow somebody on Instagram and be like, yeah, I can do that. Right.
That's the thing too, is, I mean, some people dread working out and then they start off and then they end up loving it because you make it fun too. So it's not even just about you're going to get the way better results with a trainer for sure, that knows, a certified trainer, one that knows what they're doing, but you guys build a relationship. They're going to make it fun for you too. It doesn't have to be all in the trenches stuff that you hate. I mean, if there's a certain exercise that you just can't stand doing, unless it's something that you absolutely need and you just do it, like there's other variations, there's other ways you can go about it. Something that if something hurts when you got knees like me and something hurts right here, then there's a different way that you can work it to where you can work around things like that too. And the trainers will know that and help you with that. So
Yep. Producer Chris, have you ever worked with a trainer before? He's shaking his head. Yeah. Where's the, oh, hold on, he's writing something down.
He said that's why he's excited to have Donovan here. Oh, he's done the classes.
Oh, yeah, the classes.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Okay. So, shout out to our class UFC gym in Noble West. They are open now. Check them out. I don't know the address off the top of my head or the phone number.
It's over where Scotty's used to be.
Producer Chris will probably pop it up
whatever
on the
that
screen
is.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
we can do that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Noble West. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we got that covered. So it's Class UFC gym in Noble West. It's a boutique. It's more structured in a class, obviously.
It's cool.
It's really neat. You do a lot of HIIT training. You do interval training. You do a lot of boxing, kickboxing, lots of core work. So it's a lot of different boutiques incorporated into one gym.
Yeah.
One-stop shop when it comes to exercise. So shout out to Class UFC. They're doing great. We're really excited about them opening back up. I'm trying to get in there next week 3 or 4 times, get a good workout in. We should set something up like that.
Yeah, let's go.
Come join us as well, team, people listening to the podcast or watching it on our YouTube channel, UFC Gym Indy. And be sure to follow us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at UFC Gym Whitestown. Donovan does post a lot of different workout ideas for the day. Our trainer tip Tuesdays every Tuesday. Josh is in charge of our what to eat Wednesdays as well. So we give you good nutrition advice, give you good trainer tips as well, and workouts to work out with. And then I just kind of sit there and watch it. So great job to you too. Awesome job.
Thanks, Jordan.
Proud of you. Private coaching we touched on. That was my next thing.
I was just going to say this turned into a private coaching podcast.
Sorry about
what's
that.
What's one of your favorite strength training exercises that you don't see a lot of people doing? Not the most common.
All right, here you go.
Here we go.
Love it.
So, and it depends on what equipment you've got.
I'm excited.
But the assisted pull-up dip machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can put your knees on it.
Yeah.
I have to describe my movements here, Chris.
Yeah.
leaning over it so that your chest is on the pad, and then using it as a close grip press machine. So you grab the sides of the pad and you're pushing straight down, and then coming back up.
Oh yeah.
But you're kind of in like a donkey calf raise position,
Right.
and then you're using your hands to push down. I love that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have really thought about that.
It's different.
Well, I come from the boutique world, so you got to get creative. There's not a ton of stuff there.
Right.
By you, Jordan.
Well, so one thing that I like, it's called the Houston Protocol. Have you ever heard of it? It's essentially a modified IYT, but it's just a lot of reps. It's a finisher that I do for my shoulder days that I love. So instead of doing just standard IYTs, you do pronated and supinated IYTs. So you kind of switch up your grip a lot.
Big killer.
It is tough, and I love it. It's one of my favorite workouts that I do. So learned that from a guy that I kind of a mentor for me when I first got into personal training. I'd never heard of it before. Tried Googling it, and I've never seen it. So he just always called it the Houston Protocol, and it's essentially IYTs and an overhand and an underhand grip position. And it's rough. Yeah.
Well, sure, Josh, you asked the question, so we know you got a good
I know,
one.
but I got a lot. That's the problem. I'll go on a different body part altogether. So I guess so in a plank position, but with a heavy dumbbell, doing a drag, a nice long drag on the floor, doing one of those. Like a pretty heavy, 40-pound or so is what I would use. So if you're a little bit less than that, that really engages that core in a different way. Besides, you obviously have that plank going, but that's something I really like is those. They you feel them, but they're a great exercise.
Some of the best exercises are the ones you can't name.
Right. Yeah.
Like everything we just had.
Right.
Yours is a made up name.
Right.
I couldn't even. Mine's just a donkey push thingy.
Whoa.
Right. I don't know.
What's the donkey's name in Shrek? Oh, whatever that guy is.
What is the donkey's name? It's Donkey.
Eddie Murphy. It is Donkey.
Well,
yeah.
the donkey.
Yeah. It's just Donkey.
There we go.
So there you go. The donkey press.
Well, that's a thing, though. That's a calf raise.
Oh, that's right.
So it can't be that.
The Shrek donkey.
We'll figure it out.
The Shrek
There you
donkey
go.
press.
There you go.
There it
There
is.
you go.
Try it out at home
Hashtag.
on your assisted pull-up dip machines.
I do like to do rower inchworms too, for some ab movement, some knee tucks and some inchworms on the rower, and then do some intervals on the rower.
Oh, yeah.
Some good hit. I like
good
it.
idea.
I like it. Yeah.
I never did that. See?
And then one that I do like with dumbbell chest press is on our back. I'm laying on your back, feet are elevated, arms are elevated. You try to get your shoulders all the way off the ground, engage your abs with your legs up, and do a single arm chest press.
Ooh.
It's tough. It's a good core movement, good chest movement. I like it for finisher as well on chest day.
I like to incorporate the core a lot.
Absolutely.
If I'm doing skull crushers or something, I put my feet off the bench in there, kind of a V position almost. You get it up there where your toes point away. And
Nice little hollow hold with it. Yeah.
Do that.
Yep.
Get the ab work in throughout, core work in there too. So especially if you hate just doing just an ab day or something like that, Donovan, you just find other ways. You're doing tricep push downs, you squeeze that core real tight, just kind of flex it in there. Same with bicep stuff. You can work it in there in other ways. That's kind of the thing that you can with trainers, that you can get that. You can get little ways to work out other body parts while you're doing it. Your main focus here, you're doing a tricep push down, then that's your main thing is your triceps, right? But you can engage your core a lot more than what you probably do if someone shows you how to do it and what to do with that. So there's different tips and tricks, but yeah.
And tempo is so important when it comes to weightlifting, right? And that's one thing that kind of jogged my memory there when you were talking about that, Josh, was, trainers can really count out your reps very efficiently with the right tempo, right? I just see people go in there and just rep quick. Quick reps are okay. I wouldn't recommend them all the time because we want to engage that muscle activation throughout the whole lift as efficiently as possible, right? So it's hard to work through your range of motion when you're going too slow or too quickly.
Yeah. And even breaks in between sets. If you're trying to put on muscle mass, you're going to want to take a little longer breaks in between your sets so that you can get a little more out of it. If you're trying to tone up a little bit, you might just do some supersets or go a little quicker or something. So there's different ways to go about it too.
Yep. So people don't get mad when you see a guy lifting a lot of weight on a bench press and say he's been there for 5 minutes each set.
Yeah.
Well, duh. He's trying to lift heavy. Yep. Let him regenerate
Stop
his energy.
picking on Donovan. He's just trying to increase his max.
He's not hogging it.
He's got a training shirt on. I'm not sure what he's doing.
All right. Producer Chris is cutting us off.
Oh, we're getting cut off?
Yep.
All right. 30-minute mark. Thanks, team, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Wow, we didn't really talk about nonsense. We actually stayed on topic. I'm really proud of us
This is
there.
the first.
Check us out on our YouTube page at UFC Gym Whitestown. Or, sorry, hold on. Can you do a rewind thing on that? There you go. YouTube channel, UFC Gym Indy, our Instagram and Facebook pages, UFC Gym Whitestown, as well as our Instagram and Facebook pages for Class UFC Noble West. Check them out. They are open now. We will be open at the end of June. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Raw Life podcast sponsored by UFC Gym, and we are not live. Have a great weekend.
You did it. I was going to be like,